What if the person everyone ignored today became the reason their lives changed tomorrow? People laughed at him. They avoided him. Some even acted like he didn't exist. But none of them knew who he really was, and one simple act of kindness would change everything. It was a cold Monday morning in downtown Chicago. People rushed past each other, focused on work, appointments, and deadlines. Among the crowd sat an older man on a worn wooden bench. His clothes were old. His shoes were torn. His gray beard looked unkempt. To most people, he appeared homeless. As hundreds of strangers passed by, they barely looked at him. Some glanced for a second before quickly turning away. Others whispered, "Why doesn't he get a job? He probably made bad choices. Stay away from him." The old man simply lowered his head and remained silent. His name was Samuel, and today would become the most important day of his life. Around noon, the business district became crowded. Employees flooded the streets during their lunch breaks. A group of young professionals walked by. One of them pointed towards Samuel and laughed. "Look at him. He probably hasn't worked a day in years." The others laughed too. Samuel heard every word, but he didn't respond. Instead, he stared quietly at the busy street. Years ago, he had built a successful company. He had worked hard his entire life, but after losing his wife to illness and facing several personal tragedies, he withdrew from society. The pain changed him. The world assumed they knew his story, but they were wrong. A few minutes later, something unexpected happened. A young waitress named Emily stepped out of a nearby cafe. She noticed Samuel sitting alone. Unlike everyone else, she didn't see a poor old man. She saw a human being. She walked over carrying a warm sandwich and a cup of coffee. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly. "I thought you might be hungry." Samuel looked surprised. "No one has spoken to me all day." Emily smiled. "Everyone deserves kindness." Samuel's eyes filled with emotion. He accepted the meal. "Thank you," he whispered. For a moment, the noise of the city disappeared. A simple act of kindness had created a connection. Emily sat beside him for a few minutes. They talked. She learned that Samuel was intelligent, thoughtful, and surprisingly knowledgeable. He asked about her life. Emily explained that she worked long hours. Her mother was sick, bills were piling up. And despite her hard work, she constantly worried about losing everything. Still, she smiled. Still, she helped others. Samuel listened carefully. Every word mattered. Before leaving, Emily handed him her cafe business card. "If you ever need anything, come see me." Samuel looked at the card. Then he smiled. "You have a good heart, Emily." She thanked him and returned to work. She never expected to see him again. The next morning, Emily arrived at the cafe. Something felt different. Outside the building sat several luxury vehicles. Inside stood a group of people in expensive suits. Everyone looked nervous. The cafe owner rushed around trying to understand what was happening. Then the front door opened, and Emily froze. Walking inside was Samuel, but he looked completely different. He wore a tailored suit. His hair was neatly groomed. His posture radiated confidence. The entire cafe fell silent. Nobody could believe their eyes. The owner stared in shock. The customers stopped talking. Even the staff stood frozen. Samuel slowly approached Emily. Her heart raced. "What is happening?" she thought. Samuel smiled warmly. "Good morning, Emily." The room remained silent. One executive stepped forward. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Samuel Carter, founder and majority owner of one of the largest investment groups in the region." Gasps filled the cafe. People exchanged stunned looks. The owner nearly dropped a tray. Samuel wasn't homeless. He was a multimillionaire. The same man everyone ignored. The same man people mocked. The same man Emily treated with kindness. Samuel turned toward the crowd. "Yesterday, hundreds of people walked past me." He paused. "Some judged me, others laughed. Most never even looked at me." The room grew uncomfortable. Then he looked at Emily. "But one person saw me, one person cared, one person treated me with dignity." Emily's eyes filled with tears. Samuel continued. "For months, I've been visiting different places around the city. I wanted to see how people treat those they believe have nothing, and yesterday, I found someone extraordinary." The room became completely silent. Then Samuel made an announcement no one expected. "I have decided to invest in this cafe." Everyone gasped again. The owner looked speechless, but Samuel wasn't finished. As for Emily, he smiled. "I would like to offer her a leadership position within one of my companies." Along with full financial support for her mother's medical treatment, Emily covered her mouth. Tears streamed down her face. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. The entire cafe erupted into applause. People who had ignored Samuel the day before now looked ashamed, not because he was wealthy, but because they realized how quickly they had judged him. Emily never helped Samuel expecting a reward. She didn't know who he was, she simply chose kindness, and that made all the difference. Months later, Emily's life had transformed. Her mother received the care she needed, Emily built a successful career, and Samuel became a mentor and close friend. Together, they launched programs that helped struggling families throughout the city. One small act of kindness created a ripple effect that changed countless lives, because kindness has a way of multiplying. It reaches farther than we can imagine. And sometimes, the people we overlook today may become the greatest blessing tomorrow. Before you judge someone by their appearance, remember this story: you never know what battles they're fighting, you never know who they truly are. And you never know how one simple act of kindness could change a life forever. If this story touched your heart, leave a comment with the word kindness and share this video with someone who needs this reminder today, because the world can always use a little more kindness.